Illinois Republicans, pay attention. This is about the Bailey-Del Mar ticket. Darren Bailey for governor and Aaron Del Mar for lieutenant governor. From day one, the Bailey-Del Mar campaign has sold family values and wholesome character. The Meet Aaron page painted the picture in their own words: a grounded family man in Palatine, raising their kids with his wife, rooted in community and guided by faith and family. Then, only in the last 2 weeks, the language on that very same page was quietly rewritten, and she was removed. Why was she scrubbed from the website? If her political views and her public rhetoric do not matter, like their defenders keep claiming, then why hide her now? Why are Republican voters not allowed to see the full truth of who is tied to this ticket and what she publicly stands for? Ask yourself why. Because the person the campaign has publicly presented as his wife, Sarah Plone Cox, who also posts under the name Sarah Catherine Cox, has a documented record of hard left contempt for Republicans and conservatives. Not policy disagreement, contempt. The kind meant to shame you into silence. On her own platform, she repeats the smear script aimed at you, calling Republicans Nazis, fascists, bigots, racists, transphobic, misogynistic, authoritarian. She treats President Trump like Hitler. She pushes defund the police, abolish ICE, no kings, hands-off rhetoric, and she shows up at these protests right here in our towns, not just posting online, standing roadside, joining the crowd, and backing the same activist culture that escalates from chanting to disruption when enforcement does not go their way. She also aligns herself with Governor J.B. Pritzker's politics, liking, commenting, and reinforcing the same agenda Illinois Republicans are trying to defeat. So do not let anyone tell you this is insignificant. We are 1 week from early voting. And instead of answering, the Bailey-Del Mar camp blocks critics, shuts down hard questions, and removes people when they press too close to the truth. And here is the final warning sign. This is not ancient history. This goes back to the last election cycle since 2022, when both of these men ran, both lost, and both spent that entire period attacking each other's trustworthiness.
Aaron Del Mar, I considered him a friend, but he doesn't consider me a friend now because every time he runs for something, I say, don't vote for this guy. Sorry, but he's trouble. So I have no confidence or faith in Aaron Del Mar. I'll say it right here to the camera.
If you are supposed to believe everything they are selling you today, then you also have to believe what they said about each other since 2022.
Well, nobody's inspiring. I mean, if you look at Darren Bailey, Darren Bailey was the perfect.
Wait, hold on.
I've met Darren a number of times, as I'm sure you have. He's a nice guy, but he should stick to. Well, he couldn't even win in Southern Illinois.
No.
Lost down there for congressman.
Too. He's a horrible politician. Just in the Republican primary, between Ken Griffin dropping $55 million, Dick Uihlein dropping 50, Jesse Sullivan having 15, Gary Rebine having 4, and then J.B. Pritzker, your governor, giving $30 million to the Democratic Governors Association, which then used that money to support Bailey, right? Bailey had just as much money as Richard Irving did, right? And he handpicked his own candidate for the general election.
I know. He's
right.
Darren Bailey. Darren Bailey
is.
I've said this, and I've met Darren a number of times, as I'm sure you have. He's a nice guy, but he should stick to. Well, he couldn't even win in Southern Illinois.
No.
Lost down there for congressman.
Too. He's a horrible politician.
Illinois cannot afford another mistake. Our families cannot afford it. Our kids cannot afford it. We cannot take 4 more years of J.B. Pritzker, and we cannot walk into November with a ticket that is loaded with baggage and contradictions. If we want to win, we have to be honest now, before we cast a ballot.